In my last episode, I crossed the notorious no man's land into the mysterious West African country of Mauritania, wedged between the Sahara Desert and the savanna plains of sub-Saharan Africa. Join me in this video as I explore the second largest city in this Islamic desert nation, where I discover thousands of colorful fishing pirogues, visit an abandoned French military fort, and even meet a donkey or two. Welcome to Nouadhibou, Mauritania. Well, good morning from Nouadhibou. I'm on my way to go meet Thibaut, the guy that I met crossing the Mauritanian border. We're gonna split a cab here and head down to the fishing market and hopefully see the infamous ship graveyard here in Nouadhibou, which is supposed to be incredible. Let's go. All right, we are heading to the Artisinal Port, and the taxis were 50 oug per person. So 50 oug is roughly $2 Canadian, so pretty inexpensive for a ride across town. I'm definitely enjoying traveling with a travel partner who doesn't speak English. So I'm learning a lot of French and he's learning a lot of English. And we're trying our best to understand each other, but it's been fun so far. So we're here at the fishing port. We'll see what we're able to see here. They're really anti-camera here, so I'm gonna get myself in trouble if I'm not careful. Very similar to Djibouti in that regard. Nobody wants to be filmed here. To say that it's difficult to use your camera in Mauritania would be an understatement. Nevertheless, I did my best to capture the experience of our visit to the Artisinal Port on film. However, we were turned away almost as soon as we arrived by the port authority officers, who claimed that this was a secure military area, despite the hundreds of fishermen tending to their boats. So we tried our best to visit the port here, the Port Artisinal, but they were very, I guess, apprehensive about the cameras, and we got kicked out of there. So trying to find another place to see these boats, but it's not the most tourist-friendly city, and it is stinking hot outside. I gotta get some water soon. It's really dry here. So I think this little suggested shortcut to the back end here is gonna pay off. Beautiful views of the fishing boats. Pretty stunning harbor. I don't want to attract too much attention here, but wow, it's packed with fishing boats. So pretty outstanding. I know I'm going to get yelled at very quickly here, but this just gives you a sense of the massive fishing fleet. And this is just a fraction. There are literally thousands of these boats along the fishing port here. Really hard to photograph because they are so against photographers here. So you can see people are just getting their boats loaded, but active fishing pier right here on the edge of Nouadhibou. I'm not quite at the Port Artisinal, which is a little bit further up, but this gives you a sense of it, and it's probably the only place I'm going to really be able to photograph today. I'm going to go venture deeper and see what happens. They're getting all their boats in the water and setting out into the Bay of Nouadhibou. There's so much going on here, but I am definitely off the beaten track right now and feeling a little bit nervous. There's a lot of stairs and the risk of robbery is pretty real right now. I'm definitely testing the limits here today and maybe testing my faith. There's just nobody around in any position of authority and it's really secluded here. So I'm going to be as quick as possible here, but so many cool boats in the harbor here in Nouadhibou. I'm so glad I found this. Literally thousands of these boats off the shore and docked here. Beautiful place, lots of culture here. You can see this is true West Africa. These type of boats, these little long fishing boats, very typical West African. You see them in Cape Verde, Senegal, they're all over the place. Really interesting boats all throughout here. Very atmospheric. So these are all predominantly Senegalese boats, you can see. But definitely an incredible place, just full of culture. You do have to go through the back end here though, so I'll likely put a little Google Maps link so you can see where exactly I am, because this is your best bet at actually seeing these boats without hassle from the military. So they did turn us away at the official entrance, but I am here now, and this is public property, so I should be okay. Super cool here. Just impressive. There's a lot of trash. It stinks, but such a cool cultural experience here. And these boats are just incredible, as you can see, minus the dog pooping. And I tell you, some of them are so intricately designed and colorful. So cool. But I can tell you there's a lot of disease rampant here, so pretty much a pile of trash. I can't really even go this way. I'm gonna have to turn around, but such a cool fishing harbor.
After a first-hand look at the Artisinal Port, I caught a taxi to what I thought would be a vantage point over Nouadhibou's notorious ship graveyard, which I'd soon learn had been dismantled in recent years and no longer exists. We drove roughly 5 kilometers south of the city before the taxi driver dropped me off at an old French military fortification locally known as the Blue Tower.
So I'm not sure what the significance of this is, but I've arrived here at the Torre Blues. A lot of cool abandoned boats here. I'm outside of town now, but I guess this is Torre Blue. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to be here, so hopefully it'll be okay. I'm really concerned this is some sort of military or closed area, so I hope I don't get shooed out of here. But pretty amazing boats. So cool. I'm pretty sure these are actively used. They're just being stored here. They don't look that wrecked or abandoned. But this gate, that's what makes me worried. This is actually a restricted area. But amazing boats at the entrance nonetheless. Very cool place. I'm a little bit hesitant to go inside though. It does look like it's closed for visitors. But wow, incredible boats here. I'm glad I made this little journey. It was a $2 taxi ride to come out from the center of town, but so cool. And some of them are pretty colorful, as you can see. Cool place. So I'm a little bit vulnerable out here, unfortunately. I just learned today that some terrorists from ISIS or Al-Qaeda escaped, I guess, and they're wanted. So sketchy. It's definitely nerve-wracking to travel in Mauritania, but beautiful, beautiful views here. As you can see, these boats are outstanding. So it looks like the guard post is not stationed right now, but over here, I believe this is one of the French ramparts. Yeah, some old French cannons that were placed here. But I'm really hesitant to venture any further than the gate because I don't want to be, you know, arrested or anything for trespassing. So I think I'm going to get out of here, but amazing boats at the Torre Blues. Cool place. Wow. It was worth the $2 for sure. So though this is cool, it's not the abandoned ship graveyard that I'm hoping to see, but honestly, it's looking like it's just not accessible anymore. It's just too tight security right now, so unfortunate. This is actually the Western Sahara border. So if you cross the train tracks, that's all Western Sahara. It is porous, it's completely unguarded, but there are landmines literally everywhere past those train tracks. So very dangerous place to travel. So I probably was a little bit misguided that I went this far out of town, but it is pretty cool to get out of the city here in Nouadhibou and explore. But again, pretty trepidatious, very dangerous to go across the train track, so I gotta watch where I'm going here, but should be okay. I'm gonna head down to Cansado, which is the beach district, just about, a kilometer or two away. It turns out that hitchhiking is actually very easy here. And honestly, I wasn't even expecting to be picked up by a local. I was waiting for a taxi, but friendly guy picked me up on the side of the highway, offered to take me to Cansado here, which is like 4 kilometers from where I was. But this is Cansado. This is, I guess, the beach district of Nouadhibou, abandoned lighthouse here. So I'm definitely glad that I was able to spend an extra day here in Nouadhibou. I've heard that Nouakchott doesn't have that much to offer in terms of tourist attractions, so this works for me. Beautiful seaside location here in Nouadhibou. That's looking down towards the end of the peninsula at Cap Blanc, or the White Cape. And kind of a rugged coastline here. There's actually warning signs about it being a little bit unstable, so I'm going to watch myself, but very cool coastline here on the northwestern corner of Mauritania. So pretty beautiful mosque, and I tell you, Cansado really has nobody around. It's so quiet here. You get the idea. This is such a interesting place. And it definitely feels more chill and subdued, a little bit more quiet and slower paced than the center of Nouadhibou. Pretty enjoyable afternoon, just sauntering around. So the sun is pretty intense, but I'm managing at least to stay covered. My mask at least is keeping my cheeks from burning too much. So just heading up to find a restaurant. I'm parched, so I need to get a drink fast. But yeah, pretty chill little place here, just outside of Nouadhibou. So some of you may be wondering why I'm not taking this iron ore train, because it is one of the top attractions in Mauritania. I guess there's a few reasons. One, it's overplayed on YouTube. So every single travel vlogger has been on it. I think Kara and Nate might be the only one that haven't. Like Drew Binsky, Eva Zubek, Yes Theory. I mean, PP Peter. They've all been on the train journey, and I just feel like it's played. So I don't really want to do it. And then the second part of that is I just don't want to get dirty. I'm old. I'm not as young as them. I'm 40 years old, and I just couldn't be bothered to be on a train for 20 hours. Covered in iron ore that's really probably screwing over my lungs. You know, I'm not that fun maybe anymore at my age, but just not interested. It's just 10 years ago I would have jumped at it, but I just could not be bothered at spending that amount of time in the back of a train car with a bunch of rocks. So to each their own. I'm not judging them, but it's also just played. I'm not a copycat, and I don't, you know, follow trends. So it has become a trend. So I did have a pretty honest taxi driver who just let me pay whatever I wanted. So thankfully I had about 65 oug, or I don't know, about $2 and change Canadian. So I ended up paying that to get back from Cansado, which I thought was pretty fair. And thankfully I didn't face any hassle or military. So very lucky, but I'm not gonna linger. It's just too risky with the cameras. But I'm back here in the center at the Zona Dubai, where my hotel is located. It's just so hot out right now. I'm just not enjoying myself anymore. So I'm gonna go cool down and replenish and rehydrate, and then I'll maybe head back out again just for a short time. But I'm pretty sure I've seen everything I want to see here in Nouadhibou. So I got myself a Pepsi Max to both caffeinate myself and cool down. It's barely refrigerated, but it'll do. Heading back to the hotel now to cool down and rest for a bit. It's just too hot out here. And as you can see, this North Face jacket is meant for, you know, cool climates, but I do love this jacket because it is waterproof, and there's a lot of compartments for my passport and everything else. So it's my preferred travel jacket. Keeps the mosquitoes out. It's perfect for Africa, but definitely hot. So I probably should not be walking after dark. Terrorism is a problem here for sure. The border of Mauritania is quite porous, so militant groups like ISIS, they travel pretty freely between the borders, so anything's possible. But at night, you're most likely to have any issues, just because all it takes is a unmarked van or truck and two guys to throw you into it when no one's looking, and you're pretty much toast. Thankfully, there's a lot of security on the highways now, and they check passports and documents, so that makes it a little bit more safe for sure. So I decided to actually go to a restaurant tonight. So I'm at this place called the Sucre Saleh. It has a pretty varied menu. So you're looking at, you know, for an actual entree, at least 10 Canadian dollars. All right, my food has arrived. I ordered the egg burger, which comes with a little thing of fries, coleslaw, kind of cute actually on this little serving tray. And they also served some French bread, which I've already devoured with the oil and vinegar, and some accompaniments on the side. So not too bad. This was $6 Canadian, or 150 Mauritanian Ouga, I think it's called. Anyway, bon appetit. So this is the burger, and I tell you, that is delicious. And it has this garlic sauce, and oh my goodness, this is really good. I wish we had this in Canada, actually. Delicious. All right, having breakfast here at the hotel in Nouadhibou, Mauritania. And I'm telling you, if you're celiac, you're gonna have trouble here. Well, good morning from Nouadhibou, Mauritania. I've had a really good day and a half here, but it's time to move on. So today I'm heading down to the bus station and catching a bus to the capital city of Nouakchott. I have no idea when the bus leaves. There's not really much information online other than kind of leaves midday and some in the evening. So hopefully I don't have to wait for the evening buses, but here goes nothing. Let's go to Nouakchott. All right, I had about 2 hours between the buying my ticket and the departure, so I'm back at the Succursale having a cafe au lait, which looks pretty good. Beautiful restaurant. This is one of the best in town, and it was actually right next to my hotel, so definitely enjoying myself. Good place to relax and wait this out, though I won't get there till about 11 o'clock p.m., so there's that. All right, I'm back here at the El Moussavier bus company. This is the nicest bus service to Nouakchott. For those of you who are traveling this way, this is the most reputable company, and that's how you spell it, El Moussavier. It's on the north end of Nouadhibou. But they go in these little minivans. This one has AC, and he assures me this is the most comfortable company. And it's also the company that Super Tours partners with in Morocco, so I do believe that. Anyway, let's go check in for this bus ride. 7 hours down to Nouakchott.
The 480-kilometer journey from Nouadhibou to Mauritania's capital city of Nouakchott would take just over 7 hours. As Mauritania continues to struggle with the threat of terrorism, security is understandably tight along this route, so be prepared for multiple police checkpoints. Also, be aware that you will need to make multiple copies of the information page of your passport, called fiche in Mauritania, and provide a copy of this at each police checkpoint. All of these shuttles begin in the late afternoon to avoid the intense heat and sunlight of the Sahara Desert, so be prepared to travel at night and arrive very late into Nouakchott. All in all, I found the El Moussavier shuttle to be safe, well organized, and reasonably comfortable, and I would recommend them as your best option if you're considering travel on this route.
All right, so they're all loading up the luggage, and I guess we'll be out of here within 30 minutes or so. I didn't score the front seat, but at least I got the window, so not all bad. All right, I'm on board this bus to Nouakchott, and I got about 7 hours ahead of me. It's actually not that bad. There's a lot of leg room. He gave me this seat, so at least I can stretch my legs out. But yeah, it's kind of fun. I hate driving in the dark, though, so one of my cardinal rules is do not drive in the dark in Africa, so it is what it is. All right, we're at a rest stop here between Nouadhibou and Nouakchott. Beautiful full moon way in the distance. And he left the vehicle running, so I think this is just a prayer stop. They do prayer stops very regularly, like once every 2 hours here. But I don't think we're stopping for dinner by the sounds of it. Pretty desolate now as the sun is setting, and we still got about 3 hours to go. If you're looking to have the absolute most comfort you're gonna get, take this El Moussavier company. It was highly recommended to me, and honestly, yeah, they do have air conditioning. I have a lot of room to stretch my legs. I thought it would be way more cramped, so I'm very happy actually with the result. I just want to get there though. I'm getting tired and kind of had enough driving, I guess, but only 3.5 hours in, I guess, halfway, so I gotta do that again, I guess. So he says that we should arrive at actually 10 o'clock at night, so that's good news if that's true, because I'll have an extra hour to unwind in the hotel and get a few things done before I go to bed. It's gonna be kind of a rush day tomorrow. It's my only real day to sightsee in Nouakchott. I was actually only gonna stay the night and then leave in the morning, but it looks like there's enough to do there to keep me busy for a day, so I figured you only come to Mauritania once, maybe twice, I don't know, but I'm not going to waste this visa and just rush. I got to slow down and actually enjoy this and take my time. So I'm going to stick around and see what unfolds in Nouakchott, see what I can find out. There's a camel market, there's a fish market, a lot of markets. So, and there's the massive Saudi mosque there as well. So enough to keep me busy for a day for sure, and we'll see what I see. All right, we're arriving in Nouakchott. Should be there within 2 or 3 minutes. And it's a 1 kilometer walk or taxi ride to my hotel. I'll have to see what the neighborhood's like and then make a decision from there. All right, well, I did something very foolish and I neglected to take a cab from the bus station. I thought it would be paved sidewalks. It turned out to be dirt paths, pitch dark, passing by like shantytown tents, almost like refugee tents. But I have arrived here at the Cansado, my hotel. That was very foolish. Always take a cab. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it would be like boulevards, and then I was just caught up in the thick of it, and there were some sketchy characters lurking in the shadows. So I just booted it. I ran, but I made it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified when new episodes are posted. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.